It's a new pinnacle in the history of India-Japan relations. The transformation of relations between Asia's leading democracy is clearly the most exciting diplomatic story of the time. And this special, multifaceted relationship will be reflected in all its rich colors and texture in the forthcoming visit of Japan's charismatic Prime Minister Shinzo Abe to India, January 25 to 27. That Mr. Abe will be chief guest at Indian Republic Day celebrations, a singular honor New Delhi confers only on special friends of India, should leave no one in doubt that this relationship is headed for new frontiers in days to come. The visit of Mr. Abe to India has an ambitious agenda. It will not only bring Asia's second and third largest economies closer in geopolitical and economic sphere, but it also help create contours of a new pluralistic Asia. And the fact that Mr. Abe is coming to India barely weeks after the historic first ever trip to India of Japanese Emperor Akihito and Empress Michiko had generated a new wave of enthusiasm, which experts are calling India-Japan moment and Japan's India moment. The current high in India-Japan relations had not happened in a vacuum. It's underpinned by a long history of friendship and spiritual and cultural affinity. Blending the old and the new, the India-Japan relations over the centuries have blossomed to blend Buddhism, Bollywood and business with equal gusto. Bound by shared values of belief in democracy, individual freedom and the rule of law, the two Asian powers have forged a multifaceted partnership based on both principle and pragmatism. Going back centuries, Buddhism forms an enduring link and harks back to 752 AD when the Indian monk Bodhisena performed the consecration or eye-opening ceremony of the towering statue of Lord Buddha. Indian intellectuals and thinkers like Swami Vivekananda, Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore, entrepreneur J.R.D. Tata, freedom fighter Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and Judge Radha Vinod Pal are deeply admired in Japan.
The first interest in India came from Tagore. Tagore's visit to Japan, and even before that, Vivekananda.
Right.
Of course, one can take into account even an older relationship, and that is Buddhism, which took place 7 centuries ago.
Right.
India's name, Japan knew only 2 foreign countries in the old days. One was China, the other was India. What was India's name? Tenjiku, the heaven to the west.
Right, absolutely.
We were heaven because we were the birthplace of Buddha, and we were to the west. So they had great respect for Indian thought, philosophy, Buddhism, etc. and all that. And you will find more Hindu gods in statues in Kyoto and Nara than you find in India.
Indian film stars like Rajinikanth, fondly called Odori Maharaja in Japan, and Bollywood films like Three Idiots have struck a powerful chord in Japan. Above all, what makes the relationship special is that it is singularly free of any ideological or territorial discord. Cutting back to recent years, the 21st century promises to be a century of Asia in which India and Japan are poised to be co-architects of an Asian Renaissance. What's bringing India and Japan closer is a web of intertwined interest in a rainbow spectrum of areas, including security, strategy, trade and investment, technology and development. It's a win-win relationship based on a confluence of shared values and interests. In an address to Indian and Japanese parliamentarians and businessmen in Tokyo, May 28, 2013, India's Prime Minister Manmohan Singh enunciated a robust vision of an Asian century that puts closer security and economic ties with Japan at the heart of an unfolding Asian resurgence. He underlined that India and Japan have a shared vision of a rising Asia and pitched for injecting more strategic content into the blossoming India-Japan relations.
Friends, Asia's resurgence began over a century ago on this island of the rising sun. Ever since, Japan has shown us the way forward. India and Japan have shared vision of a rising Asia.
Clearly, Japan, Asia's second largest economy and the hub of cutting-edge technology, is going to be increasingly important to India's developmental aspirations and its quest for a pluralistic Asia and the world order. There are many outstanding reasons why Japan matters to India, and here are some of them. First, Japan is India's largest bilateral donor. India received $40 billion in official development assistance from Japan. Over 60 projects straddling diverse sectors, including power, transportation, shipping, railways, renewable energy, are being implemented under this assistance program. Second, Japan is poised to be a star player in the development of India's infrastructure. The Delhi-Mumbai Industrial Corridor, when completed in 2017, and the dedicated freight corridor will be a game changer of sorts for India. Similarly, new industrial corridors like Bangalore-Chennai corridor are also in the process of being set up with Japanese assistance. Third, Japan is critical to India's quest for civilian atomic energy. The two countries are negotiating a landmark civil nuclear deal, which when finalized will pave the way for import of cutting-edge Japanese nuclear technologies to India. The nuclear deal with Japan will also help India to implement its nuclear deals with countries like the United States and France. Fourth, Japanese technology and engineers helped build the Delhi Metro, which changed the way millions of people travel in India's capital. Now Japan is helping build the Mumbai Metro, which is again going to transform the lives of millions of people in India's vibrant commercial capital.
There is a huge emphasis by the Indian side that Japan could contribute to India's rise in terms of FDI, in terms of the manufacturing sector, upgradation in the manufacturing sector.
We were interested in getting Japanese aid, Japanese technology, whereas they could not find enough market, so their interest was very limited. Today, it is symmetrical in two areas, not just economic. Economics continues to be very important, but now there is an added area, and that is strategic cooperation.
Japan, the land of rising sun, needs India, a rising Asian power, equally for many reasons of national interest and regional security.
The fact that India has a strong navy plays a very important role, because for the Japanese, what is uppermost in their minds is the safety of their navigation routes, because all their supplies of oil and other raw materials go from Indian Ocean Pacific area, and our Navy's presence gives them a little satisfaction.
In a visionary speech entitled Confluence of the Two Seas, Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe outlined a robust vision of India-Japan partnership.
強いインドは日本にとって有益になり、強い日本はインドにとって有益になる。これは私とビバさんがよくお互いに確認し合った考え方であります。
This is a confirmed recognition between myself and Mr. Bibao that strong India is the interest of Japan and strong Japan is in the interest of India.
Economically, for one thing, India-Japan relations are poised for a major upsurge. Japanese companies have woken up to the rich promise of the India story and are determined to make most of it. Around 1,000 Japanese companies have pitched their tent in India, making Japan the fourth largest investor in this country. This includes iconic brands like Sony, Toyota, Hitachi and Mitsubishi.
Ours is already a very rich relationship. However, we have set for ourselves higher ambitions consistent with the vision we have for this unique partnership.
In the last 12 years, Japanese companies have plowed in investment of $12.66 billion in India, accounting for 7% of total FDI inflow into India. The signing of the India-Japan Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement which became effective in August 2011, was a major milestone in the growing economic relations between the two countries. Currently, bilateral trade stands at around $18 billion, and the two Asian economies are looking to double it by 2015-16. In the days to come, one can expect the two rising Asian democracies, aspirants for a permanent seat in an expanded UN Security Council, to seize the moment, forge a mutual empowering partnership, and jointly sculpt the contours of the rising.